Now, regardless of the type of aquarium that you have, over time, a lot of crap is going to build up through the back of the reef where you simply can't access it. So you may decide to do a spring clean. Now, what a spring clean basically entails is taking out your livestock, taking out your decorations, and gravel cleaning and cleansing the back of your reef. Then you put it all back in again. You tend to rearrange it a bit, which tends to reinvigorate and interest you and the animals that live in your aquarium. But there's a few things that you want to consider before you go doing a spring clean. What I do not recommend is just willy-nilly deciding the back of my tank needs a cleanse and I'll just give it a spring clean. Because if you're super unlucky, you may have hydrogen sulfide which can be released, and that can even kill your fish. So you get anoxic zones through the back of the reef where oxygen is not available. Those anoxic zones discharge hydrogen sulfide. Now, when they're not disturbed, the hydrogen sulfide is pretty much fine. If you go and release the hydrogen sulfide all at once, then it is possible to kill your fish, and that has happened to me on several occasions. So the first thing I want to recommend that you do before you think about doing a spring clean is to use some aquarium detox. Now, what aquarium detox does is introduce bacteria from mud, which is incompatible with anoxic zones, and gets rid of the hydrogen sulfide temporarily. The other thing I would do is put in some polyfilter, because I want something that's going to rid the hydrogen sulfide. I will put this in straight away, and I will make sure I've got a fresh one in after I do the actual spring clean. The next thing that I will do with this before I consider doing my spring clean is that I will gravel clean very effectively all the areas that I can reach. So you want to make sure that the gravel in the reachable areas is as clean as possible, because when you do your spring clean, you want to focus just on cleansing the back of the reef. You don't want to be focused on all the crap that you could have otherwise removed. The other thing I'll tend to do too in this sort of situation is try and focus on feeding probiotic foods, because during this whole ordeal we're going to be releasing a lot of crap out through the back of the reef. Things like phosphates, nitrates and other things are a concern, and that particular food has a probiotic in it which is very good for the digestion of the fish. But the exciting thing about it, which I've found is very effective, is that when the fish poo, the bacteria in the poo actually eats the poo. So I find it really helps to keep my tank nice and clean. One step towards a self-cleansed aquarium. The other thing that food does too is have an anti nitrate and phosphate enzyme. So it does help to reduce your nitrate and phosphate in various different ways. Anyway, put a little note on the bottom of this video. Have you ever done a spring clean before? Have you ever had issues with the hydrogen sulfide before? And if you've got any questions or whatever, then put a little note on the bottom of this video.